All right, so now we are live on all three. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and Zoom. Welcome to 6 o'clock practice. I'm Lisa. I'm subbing tonight for Drew. So I appreciate you joining me for this hour of power. We're going to settle into our seats here and just get ourselves grounded so that we can prepare our bodies for movement. So just please join me in this comfortable seated pose if you like, or you can lay flat on your back. We're going to be here for a few minutes. Just finding our center, anchoring into our breath. Doing the best you can with the body that you're in today to settle in to whatever is going on around you. Maybe you're having to take some extra breaths, extra deep breaths like I do, and just finding the space in between the thoughts, in between the tension that you might be feeling in the body, just readjusting and finding your comfort, finding what it is that you need right now. So maybe the hands are resting on the lap, comfortably with the palms up. Maybe you need something, you need to receive something today. Or if you just really need to center in and just ground down and just find stillness. You'll bring your palms down. Doing your best to release the tongue from the roof of your mouth, unclenching the jawbone. Softening the wrinkle between the eyebrows. Allowing with every exhale the shoulders just to surrender down and back. Sitting nice and tall. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Or just a nice soft gaze at the screen. Wherever you are, doing your best to give yourself permission to just settle in, allowing stillness, anchoring into your breath. Scanning the body, feeling what you feel fully. Showing up for yourself in this moment. Stepping away from the incessant chatter of the mind. Just allowing what is to be. Let's take some deep inhales through the nose. Extra slow exhales. A few more just like that. Inhale deeply. Exhaling completely. Moving with your own breath through the body. I want you to take some deep breathing here. Settling in. Allowing the senses, if they're active, just to be active. Seeing if you can be okay with your surroundings. Seeing if you can be okay with the thoughts and the tension that might be building in your body from sitting a little longer than you want. Just allowing everything to be as it is. Breathing deeply. And let's take some movement here. On the inhale, let's bring our shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale those shoulders down and back. A couple of slow movements. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhaling those shoulders down and back. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, shoulders up. And then exhale, shoulders down and back. Good. Inhale, shoulders up. And then exhale, shoulders down and back. Let's reverse that. Let's bring the shoulders up. And now bring them down and forward and down. On the exhale, inhale, shoulders forward and down. 2 more, just like that. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders forward and down. Inhale, shoulders up. 1 more time. And then exhale, shoulders forward and down, resting here. Taking some deep breaths. Allowing the breath to travel all the way through the body, through the chest, past the chest, all the way into the belly. Opening up the belly, don't be shy. And then on the exhale, allowing the exhale to be even longer as you bring that navel all the way back to the spine. Exhaling all the stale air. And inhale deeply. Opening up that chest, opening up that belly, bringing beautiful oxygen in the body. And then exhale, allowing that belly to just compress all the way back. And at the end of the exhale, see if you can expel a little bit more air. Deep inhales. Long exhale. Good. Let's float our hands all the way to the sky. Inhale those arms up, palms facing together. And then exhale the hands between the eyebrows, stopping there. Setting our intention for our practice today. Let us do our best to sit off and, let us do our best to take captive our thoughts brought within our awareness, aligning them with love and kindness. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down to the mouth, resting there. Let us do our best to cultivate language of love and kindness for ourselves as well as all sentient beings. Deep breath in. Exhale the hands down to the heart. Stopping here, pressing into the hands. Really feeling your energy, the warmth of your hands. Maybe you press your thumbs against your sternum, feeling your heartbeat, your pulse. The chest rising and falling. Reminding yourself that you're alive and that you're breathing. Setting an intention. Let us sit often in quiet contemplation of our own inner conditioning. Take a deep breath in as you bring the arms out wide, nice stretched out arms, sitting nice and tall. And then exhale, cross the right arm over the left. We're going to give the body a hug and just give it some thanks and gratitude for showing up. Rocking side to side. Something I like to do before we practice is just remind ourselves that we are loved. We are valuable. Our lives matter. We're breathing. We have so much to be grateful for. Taking a moment in this present moment to take in a moment for yourself. Finding stillness in this center. Take a deep inhale as you open the arms up wide. And then exhale, crossing the left arm over the right. One more time, giving the body a hug. Take time for yourself. Breathing oxygen into the rib cage, the side of the body. Just moving nice and slow, keeping your hips on the ground. Good. Let's come to stillness in the center. And let's just bring the arms out to the side as we push the body into a tabletop. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Stacking our joints, hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. We're engaging our core, opening up the fingers, not forcing them open, but just pressing into the mat a lot with the whole hand. The knuckles, the fingers, all the fleshy parts of the hand are active. And on an inhale, we're going to go into some cat-cows, warming up our back. So we're going to bring that belly toward the mat, shining your heart forward, bringing the tailbone to the sky, pressing into the mat a lot with the tops of the feet and the shins. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your back, pointing your tailbone down, bringing the head, chin to the chest, shining the crown of the head toward the mat. And on the inhale, you're going to come back into a cow pose. And then exhale, go back into your cat. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more. One more. And coming to stillness in the center. Now let's take our knees a little wider, bringing them close to the edge of the mat, still stacking hips over the knees. And then let's take that left hand and just bring it forward, keeping your alignment with that right shoulder over the right wrist. And then just drop that left hand down wherever it lands. And then I want you to bring that right arm high, bringing your gaze over the right fingertips, taking a couple of breath cycles here. Opening up the side body, shining that heart toward the right side of the room. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to bring the arm all the way through up under the left armpit. We call this threading the needle. Pressing into the mat a lot with the left hand to square those shoulders. Let's take the hips and bring the hips a little bit closer to the center by bringing them over to the right. You may not move much, but you'll feel that. Resting the right cheek on the mat, coming into the side of the left shoulder blade. Pressing into the mat a lot. Let's inhale, bring that right arm high. Moving nice and slow. Bringing your gaze to the right fingertips. And then exhale, let's thread the needle. Yeah, I think I'm competing with my music here. So just take a moment, forgive me for this moment. Inhale, pressing into that left hand. Inhale, that right arm high. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Exhale, let's thread the needle. 1 more time. Make it count. Come on to the side of that right shoulder blade as much as you can and take those right hips, pressing them over to the right. You can get a deeper stretch also by taking the left arm and just finding the crease of your right hip. Doing your best to press into the mat with that right arm. If that's not working, you can bring that hand down and just straighten out the left hand, pressing into the mat a lot. Take a couple more breath cycles here. Good. Inhale, let's bring that right arm nice and high, bringing your gaze toward the right fingertips. 2 breath cycles here. Good. Exhale, bring the right hand down, stacking that shoulder over the wrist and inviting the left hand to join. Let's bring the big toes together, keeping those knees nice and wide. Let's bring those hips back to the heels, going into our child's pose. Bringing those arms forward, resting the forehead on the mat. Let's take a break here. Deep inhale. Long exhale. On the next inhale, let's come back into our tabletop with the knees close to the edges of the mat, bringing those feet directly behind the knees. So we're in this wide-legged tabletop, if that makes sense, right? And so you're going to inhale the right arm forward, bring your gaze to your fingertips. And then exhale, bring that right hand down, allowing it to land just where it is. And then inhale, pressing into the mat with the right hand, like you're pressing the ground away. You're going to inhale that left arm high, opening up your chest, shining your chest to the left side of the room, bringing the gaze, if it's available for your neck, to your fingertips. And then exhale, coming all the way down, threading your needle. Pressing into the mat a lot. Let's take those hips over to the left if they've moved. And if you want to take that bind, you can take that right arm and find your left hip crease. Opening up the body a lot, taking the left cheek to the mat. Pressing into the forearm of the left arm just to square your shoulders as much as you can. And if that's not working, feel free to just bring that right arm to the mat. Pressing into the mat a lot, let's inhale, bringing that left arm high. And take an exhale as you bring it back down, threading your needle. Seeing if you can twist a little deeper as you transition. Take an inhale and a full exhale. Pressing into that right hand a lot. Let's inhale the left arm high. Bringing your gaze over the left fingertips. Moving nice and slow as you transition. And then take an exhale one more time, threading the needle, hanging out here. Breathing deeply. Guiding those hips back over to the left in the center. As much as you can. Allowing the body just to surrender. Breathing deeply. One more. Inhale. Let's bring our gaze back to those fingertips, bringing it high. And then exhale, let's come back into our tabletop. Bringing the legs closer together. Good. Let's tuck our toes. And we're going to just hover off the mat, bringing those knees off the mat slightly. Inhale, bringing the knees up just a little. A couple of inches off the mat. Gaze is down, taking a couple of breath cycles here. Strengthening the back, engaging your core. Exhale, drop those knees down. Untuck the toes and let's sit back on the heels. Opening up those feet, bringing the knees a little close together, sitting the buttocks just right between the feet. The heels of the feet are going to be right at the hips on the sides in our Master Hero pose. This is a beautiful, beautiful practice today. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're practicing our breathing. We're practicing our poses. We're practicing the poses that challenge us the most, like this one for me. It was one that I would almost never do, and now it's one that I do every time I practice yoga. I'm just getting better and better at it. Just bringing the spine nice and tall, taking a couple more deep breath cycles here. Good. Let's come back to tabletop. Tucking the toes. Sitting those hips backing up for our first downward facing dog. This might be a little tight for you right now. You can widen your stance by bringing the feet a little closer to the edge of the mat, pressing those heels toward the mat. Pressing into the mat a lot with the hands, guiding the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Bringing the tailbone, pointed toward the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Maybe you rock the hips side to side just to open up a little bit. And if you like, you can walk your dog out. Head is hanging heavy, by the way. Let's lift the right heel up and then drop that heel to the mat as you lift the left heel. And taking some movement here, let's walk out the dog. And if you're comfortable bringing those feet a little closer together, if you want to challenge yourself, you can do that too. Taking kindness towards your body and wherever you are today. Couple more here. Breathing. Good. Let's come to stillness. In our downward facing dog, let's come up on the balls of our feet and exhale as you drop the knees back down to the mat, untucking the toes, bringing the knees close together, sitting the bottom between the heels. Master Hero pose, sitting nice and tall, hands at the heart space. Breathing here. Good. Inhale, let's come back to tabletop. Tucking the toes, exhale as you send those hips backing up, downward facing dog. Let's come up on the balls of the feet and walk those feet, or you can hop to the front of your mat in your first standing forward fold. And inhale, let's come up halfway lift. Halfway standing forward fold, and then exhale. Bending your knees, let's sweep the arms up as you bring your body all the way up to standing. And then exhale, the hands down in prayer. Hanging out there in Samasthi. Good, let's inhale, let's bring the hands down and all the way up. Bringing your gaze toward the fingertips. Standing nice and tall. Feeling all four corners of your feet. Exhale the hands down in prayer as you bend at the hips. Coming all the way down to Uttanasana. Let's inhale, let's come up halfway. In a half standing forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice flat back, the crown of the head is shining toward the front of the room, the front of the mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Let's bend the knees, and this time sweep the arms up the side as you come up nice and slow. Hands are the last to come up. Bringing your gaze to the fingertips. And then exhale the hands down in prayer. Adding on to our movement here, let's bring our hands down and inhale those hands up. Exhale one more time, forward fold, bending at the hips, touching the earth. Let's step our right leg back, and we're going to drop that knee to the mat. Untucking the toe, coming into a low lunge. Shining the heart forward. Let's bring the torso off the leg and inhale those arms high. Good. Exhale as you twist over to the left, opening up the body. And then exhale, let's bring the right arm behind us as you interlace the fingers, bringing the hands away from the body, shining the head and the chest up. A deep back bend if you got it, if it's in your practice. And then inhale, sweep those arms up, gaze is up. Exhale the hands down, framing that left foot. Let's tuck the right foot, lifting that knee off the mat. As you frame that left foot, let's guide the foot back to join the right in a high plank. Holding here, breathing deeply, allowing the weight to be distributed on both sides of the body. Let's bring the shoulders over the wrists, bending the elbows, coming down, knees, chest and chin are all at once. And inhale, pressing into the mat, coming into a low cobra, a low back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. Bringing it down, forward fold, chaturanga. Pressing into the mat, let's press up, inhale, to tabletop, tucking the toes, sending those hips back and up. Downward facing dog. You can come stillness, or you can walk your dog out. Whatever works. Inhale, coming up on the ball of the feet, bringing the shoulders over the wrists. Let's walk the feet up to meet the hands in a standing forward fold. However you get there, you can hop if you need to, if that's better. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Oh, that feels so good, touching the earth. Let's step that left foot back and drop the knee down, coming into our low lunge on our left side. Stacking that knee directly over the right ankle. If you need to pivot your foot forward, by all means do that. But I want you to get a deep lunge in that left hip flex. Inhale, let's bring the chest off the legs as you shine the heart forward, bringing the arms up. Doing your best to find your balance. And then exhale, twisting over, opening up the body to the right side. Breathe in here. Take an inhale. And then exhale, bring that left arm behind you, interlace those fingers, bringing the hands away from the body, shining the heart forward, bringing the head up if it's comfortable. And then inhale, bring those arms high. And then exhale, frame that right foot. Let's come up on the ball of the left foot. And then take an inhale as you step the left foot forward, coming into a halfway standing forward fold. Good. Let's exhale, folding forward. Bending the knees, sweeping the arms out to the side, bringing the body back up into a standing mountain pose. Exhale. The hands down in prayer, Samasthi. All right, guys. Let's inhale those hands down and all the way up. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Let's bring the body all the way down to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, exhale, forward fold. Let's step the right foot back and let's stay up on the knee this time, coming into a high lunge. Bringing the chest up, finding your balance. Inhale those arms high. And then doing your best, exhale the hands down in prayer as you twist over to the left, doing your best not to fall. Taking that elbow to the outside of the left leg, pressing into the hands a lot. Guiding with every exhale, just deeper into this twist. Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. Breathing here. Building some heat. It's all good. Inhale, let's bring those arms high. And then exhale, let's bring it down. Framing that left foot, guiding that left foot back to join the right. Once again into our high plank. Stacking shoulders directly over the wrist, check in. Exhale, you can bring it all the way down at once or bring that down your knees, chest, and chin, bending those elbows. Doing the best with the body that you're in. Untucking the toes, coming into a low cobra. And then exhale, bringing the body down. Pressing in near the shoulders a lot. Inhale, tucking your toes. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Good, walk it up. Yes. Coming to stillness. We're going to come up on the balls of the feet, stacking shoulders over the wrist, gazes forward. You can hop or walk those feet to the front of the mat. Taking your time. Moving slow. Remember, we're practicing. Inhale, let's come up halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, sweeping the arms in front as you bring the body all the way up to standing. Exhaling the hands down in prayer. Samasti. Let's bring the hands down and inhale them all the way up, gazes up. Exhale, forward fold, bending at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, folding over the legs. Let's step the left leg back, coming into a high lunge. Let's bring the chest off the legs and inhale those arms high. Get a nice deep bend in that front knee. Maybe you go deeper into your lunge if you have to, find your balance. And when you're ready, we're going to do that twist on the side. Exhale the hands down in prayer as you twist over to the left. Bringing that, your elbow to the outside of the right leg. Pointing the tailbone down. Doing your best to find your balance. Pressing into the hands a lot. Exhale, twisting deeper over to the right. Good. One more breath. Inhale, let's bring those hands high. And then exhale, let's bring it down. Framing the right foot. And inhale, that left foot forward, coming into a halfway standing forward fold. And then exhale, folding over the legs, bending the knees, sweeping the arms forward, coming all the way up to standing. And then exhale the hands down in prayer. Good stuff. All right, let's inhale those hands down and up. Exhale, bending at the hips, coming all the way down. Touch the earth. Let's step that right leg back. And now this time, let's parallel that back foot to the back of the mat. So it's going to be parallel, sideways. Toes are pointed toward the front of the room. And you're going to have a nice deep bend in that front knee. Maybe you pivot that foot a little far more forward. Stacking that knee over the ankle. Let's cartwheel the arms up, coming into our warrior two. Maybe you sink a little deeper, bringing that knee a little farther forward. Finding your warrior here. Arms are at a T, pressing those shoulder blades toward each other, toward the spine. Hips are square to the side of the mat. Arms are nice and strong, as high as the shoulders. Let's look over those right fingertips, and then look over the left fingertips. Nice strong warriors here. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, leaning forward, let's drop that left elbow to the left knee and shine that right arm toward the sky. Palm is facing toward the front of you. And if you want a little deeper stretch, you'll take that arm and stretch it overhead. You can also, in this stretch, you can bring the hand down to the floor if that's in your practice. It's not necessary. You can keep your elbow on the leg. We're not trying to harm ourselves. We just want to work with what our body is saying is okay. Taking that right shoulder blade and pressing it toward the back of the room, getting a nice deep stretch and an entire right side of the body. One more inhale, and then exhale. Let's come back into our warrior two. Good, let's bring our hands to our hips. And now we're gonna do something really tricky here. I've done this only a few times. Let's square our hips, taking that right foot, coming up on the ball of the foot, and squaring those hips toward the front of the room, framing the left foot. All right, let's take that left foot back to join the right, coming into a high plank. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I hope you guys are okay. Let's bring our shoulders in front of the wrist, bending the elbows and coming all the way down. Untacking the toes. Maybe you take a high back bend this time. If that's in your practice, you can even go into your upward dog, coming up on the tops of the feet. Breathing here. And then exhale, bending the elbows, bringing the body all the way down. Good, let's press into the mat as you bring the body all the way up to tabletop. Big toes together. Sitting the hips back to child's pose. Good. Taking a couple of breaths here. Inhale, let's come back to tabletop. Tucking the toes. Sitting the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Walk it out. I like to walk it out. This feels so good for my hamstrings. All right. Finding stillness. Let's come up on the balls of the feet. Let's bring the shoulders over the wrists as you bring your gaze forward. And you can hop or just step your feet up to the front of the mat in a standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Touch the earth. And let's step that left foot back. Parallel that back foot to the mat. Getting a deep bend in that front knee, snapping the knee over the ankle. Make sure you got a nice heel to toe alignment. And then just cartwheel the arms up, coming into your warrior two on this side. Deep bend in that front right knee. Finding your strong warrior here. Breathing deeply. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, leaning forward, dropping that right elbow to the right knee, bringing that left arm high. Maybe you bring your gaze to the fingertips. And if you'd like, you can bring it toward the front of the room, getting a deep stretch. And you can also drop that right hand down, opening up the heart, taking the shoulder blade toward the right shoulder blade behind you, if you have it. And just breathing with whatever you have. You can also keep the arms nice and high. Taking a couple of breaths here. Good. Inhale, let's come back to our warrior two. And let's bring our hands to the hips. Let's try that transition again. Coming up on the ball of the foot as you bring those hips forward. Try your best not to fall. Let's inhale the arms high. And then exhale, framing the right foot. Take an inhale as you step the left foot up, coming into a halfway standing forward fold. And then exhale, folding over the legs, bending the knees, and sweeping the arms forward. And all the way up. Exhale the hands down in prayer. Hang out here for a moment. Good. Let's inhale, bring the hands down and all the way up in one breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Bending at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's come all the way back up because I just decided we're going to do something different. Exhale the hands down and pray. Let's come to the long side of our mat. And let's open up the legs a little bit. We're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. right? So legs are probably as wide as one of your legs, just slightly shorter, not quite that wide. You don't want to open them up too much. But just imagine one of your full legs can fit between your stance. And that's how wide you want your legs. Let's point our tailbone down, shining the heart forward, bringing those shoulders down and back. Nice separate space between the shoulders and the ears. And let's inhale the arms high. And then exhale as you fold over the legs, coming all the way down into a standing, wide-legged forward fold. If you need to bend your knees, that's totally okay. But your head is heavy, like the crown of the head is toward the mat. And maybe you take some movement here and just walk the hands around to the side of the feet. Just opening up the hips a little bit more, moving nice and slow. Yeah. Coming back to center. Folding forward. Let's take the hands right behind the back, interlacing the fingers. And if it's in your practice, you'll bring the hands away from the body, like toward the head. And just allowing the head to hang heavy. Breathing here. You can have a nice micro bend in your knees if it's available for you, if you need that. Getting a nice deep stretch of the hamstrings. All right, let's inhale, bring the hands closer to the back side and releasing those fingers. Bringing the hands to the mat. Now take your left hand and just bring your left hand right in front of your face. And now get a slight little bend into your left knee, keeping your right leg nice and straight. And you're going to take a gaze out at your right hand as you take an inhale, following the hand all the way to the sky. See if that's okay for your neck. And if it's not, you can keep your gaze down by keeping the arm high if you need to. You can also, again, take a bind and find your left hip crease, opening up, squaring the shoulders. Whatever you like, it's yogi's choice. Taking a couple of breath cycles here. Exhale. Let's bring your right hand down, straightening out that left leg. Let's bend the right knee a little bit, taking your right hand directly in the face, in front of the face. Staring out at your left hand, take an inhale as you follow the hand all the way to the sky. Opening up the chest here. Four more full breath cycles here. Breathing deeply. One more. Inhale. And exhale as you bring your left hand down. And let's fold one more time over those legs. And let's bend the knees slightly as we bring the body all the way up to standing. Bring the hands up to the top, palms together, exhaling the hands down in prayer. Hanging out here. Alright, so now we're going to do something different here. We're going to go into a goddess pose. So keeping the legs open as much of, you might need to bring them in just a little bit if you're sliding like me because I'm sweating a lot. So you want to bring your heels pointed toward each other, but not so much that the legs are just slightly. So the tips of the big toes are pointed toward the corners of the mat. And then you're going to bring your tailbone in and squat low. Bringing the tailbone in, bringing that pelvic bone up toward the face. And then you're going to bring the hands across the wrists, if that's okay, or you can cactus your arms. We're going to pulse it out for 8, wherever you are. So you can pulse it out here, or you can pulse it out here, or you can keep the hands at the hips. Wherever you are, let's pulse out our goddess pose. So come up, and then let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's come back into our starter pose. Arms are out to the side. Take a deep inhale. Taking a break. And exhale it out. Let's squat back down into our goddess pose, pulsing it out one more time for 8. Well, we're going to do this 2 more times, actually. So let's go up and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's come into our star pose. Take a break. I know that's a lot, but you got this. Those of you doing the squash challenge with me, it's a rest day today, so I apologize. We're only doing a couple, and that's 24. 1 more. Let's squat down. Let's cross the wrists, or you can cactus the arms, wherever you are. Let's bring it up and bring it down. Squatting for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Let's come back into our star pose, interlacing the hands behind the body. Let's bring the feet a little closer, not too much. And then exhale, folding forward. Just landing where you are. You probably won't go as far with the hands interlaced behind the back. Just releasing that lower back. Head is heavy. And now allowing the hands just to come away from the back, stretching with the legs a little closer together this time. And then exhale, bring those hands closer to the body. As you inhale, bring the body all the way up to standing. Releasing the hands and shaking that out. Taking the arms high, inhale, palms together at the top. Now this time let's reverse the feet. So we're gonna take the heels, bringing them closer toward, actually the feet are kind of the same. Yeah, toes are pointed toward the corners of the mat. Heels are pointed toward each other. And we're gonna go into our Balasana, into our squat. So let's inhale the hands high, palms together as you exhale, coming down into Balasana, into your squat. You might need to settle, bringing the legs a little closer like I do. It's ideal if you have those heels on the mat, and just sitting up as tall as you can, pressing into the hands, will allow those elbows to really open up the hips by pressing the knees away from the body, shining your heart forward and smiling as much as you can. Breathing here. This is something you can say to yourself. You're my angel. You're my angel. Have your own back. Just always looking for you to take care of you, right? Okay, we're gonna take our hands down to the mat as we press into the ground and bring our hips high, coming into that wide-legged forward fold. Bending the knees slightly, sweeping the arms out to the side, coming all the way back up to standing. Setting those feet up again, coming all the way back down as you exhale into our Balasana. Going back into our squat. You got this. Thank you for joining me today. I know I'm not through, and I hope that I'm still giving you a great practice. I love teaching yoga. I love teaching here at Yogalution. It is such an honor to facilitate this for you guys tonight. One more inhale. And exhale as you bring the bottom down to the mat. Nice and slow, taking your time. All right. Let's bring our legs stretched out in front. Checking in with your sits bones, making sure your sits bones are on the mat. Let's inhale with arms high. Shining that heart forward. Take an exhale as you fold over those legs. Allowing the hands to land where they are. Shining your heart forward. Inhale. And then exhale, melting over those legs a little bit more. It's not important if the hands are on the feet. They can be on the ankles, they can be on the shins, they can be on the sides of the legs, on the mat. The most important thing is that you have a nice straight back. So if you've got a little belly like I do, maybe you're not coming all the way down, but what you can do to get this deep stretch is you can shine your heart forward and exhale, folding out the hips, coming down a little bit deeper. With every exhale, allowing the body just to surrender into this pose. Flexing those feet, toes are pointed toward the knees. Inhale, let's walk the body back to seated. Take an inhale and a full exhale. And now without using your hands, let's bring the right leg, bending that right leg, bringing that sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh, allowing your foot to be wherever it is without using your hands. Sitting nice and tall. Let's inhale those arms high. And now before we bend over the left leg, what I like to do is actually bend down the center. So let's take this torso and bring it parallel to like the heel of the foot. That's bent, right? Inhale, and then fold forward, just all the way down the middle. Allowing the forearms to rest on the mat if that's comfortable, or you can just stay up on the fingertips. Let's keep that left leg active by keeping those toes pointed toward the knee and melting into this. Breathing deeply here. Good. Let's inhale, walking the hands all the way back to seated. And now let's bring our torso toward the left leg. Inhaling the arms high. And then exhale as you fold over the left leg. Doing your best to keep those shoulders nice and square. Inhale as you shine the heart forward, and exhale, just melting a little bit more over your leg. And you can stay here if you like, or you can take the left arm to the inside of the left leg and inhale the right arm high, opening up the chest, bringing your gaze to the fingertips. You can also bring the right arm pointing toward the toes, opening up the chest, squaring the shoulders as much as you can. Breathing here, not restricting your breath, finding your breath. And then inhale, if you took that line, you're going to bring the right arm high. And then exhale, twisting once again over the left leg. Good. Let's walk ourselves back to a seated pose. And let's guide the right leg straight. Shaking that out. Inhale, bring those arms high. Pointing those toes, activating the legs. And then exhale, folding once again over the legs. Inhale, let's walk the hands back to seated. And now without using your hands, let's bend that left knee, allowing the bottom of that left foot to just land where it is. That's where you are today. You can readjust if you need to. Making sure that both hips are on the mat. And let's bring our torso toward the center. Inhale those arms high. And then very slowly activating the right toes, keeping them pointed toward the knee. Let's exhale as we fold over the middle. Coming down low if you got it. Just feeling this deep stretch. Good. Let's come back up, walking the hands to guide the body back to a seated pose. Taking a moment as you guide your torso toward the right leg, making sure that both hips stay on the mat. Let's inhale the arms high, and then as you exhale, you're going to fold over your right leg, keeping those toes active. Shining the heart forward with the inhale, and then exhale, sinking deeper into the stretch. And if you'd like to transition on this side as well, you can stay here for another 4 full breath cycles, or if you'd like, you're going to bring that right forearm down to the inside of the right leg. As you inhale, guiding that left arm high, opening up the chest, and breathing. One more, inhale. or you can just stay here. We want to keep it fair and even on both sides of the body. Inhale. And exhale, let's fold once again over that right leg. Might feel a little easier this time. Good. Let's walk the hands back to a seated. And let's stretch both legs out in front. Inhaling the arms high. And then exhaling once again as you fold over both legs. I want you to hang out here for 4 breath cycles as I restart our friends on Instagram. I know we're almost done, but I still want to make sure that they get a chance to do Shavasana too. So I'm going to